Reborn as a snake, turning into a dragon. Chapter 51. The old village chief Chen Denganian asked tremblingly, "Sir, is there some misunderstanding? We are all honest villagers in Dongyang village. Where did the crime come from?" Judge Zhang stared at Chen Denganian, then changed the subject and asked, "What is your year?" "The villain is 68 this year. In this demon-ridden suburb, with the Tianqing Mountains as its back. This age is old. Ha, 68. Judge Zhang flipped his right hand, and a book of life and death appeared in his hand out of thin air, and he opened a page, saying, "Chen Denganian, do you know that according to the life and death book, your lifespan is over and you shouldn't have died again? Appeared in Yangzhan, but you are still alive." "What?" Chen Denganian was surprised, and said fearfully, "Master, I don't understand." Judge Zhang said coldly, "Then I will make it clearer. You should be a dead person. Not only you, but even your entire Dongyang village should die. Not everyone is still alive now." There was a sudden commotion in the lobby. The villagers were terrified and bewildered. What does it mean that they should all be dead and should not be alive? Is it wrong for them to be alive now? It is recorded in the Book of Life and Death that a ghost baby was born in Dongyang village. The ghostly aura filled the sky, corpses littered the fields, and the village was destroyed. No one survived. "How did you survive?" A villager blurted out. "That's the Snake King in the mountain coming out of the mountain to save our lives in Dongyang village." A murderous intent flashed in Judge Zhang's eyes. "Monsters can only eat people, how can they save people? You betrayed human souls and became servants of demons. That's why I came here late at night to inquire about crimes. Have you ever thought about why the snake demon would save you? That is, the snake demon wants to steal the incense of the human race, assimilate you, and make all the towns and villages like you, and become demon servants. When the time is right, the snake demon has stolen enough incense, and will eat you one by one." Judge Zhang condemned every word, and shouted sharply, "It's not like that, it's not like that." Chen Denganian shook his head desperately. For him, Dongyang village has believed in the Snake King for 100 years. The Snake King came out of the mountain to rescue. This is a causal relationship. It's a matter of course. My lord, there are actually some things that don't need to be overcomplicated. The land god couldn't help but say something. What Judge Zhang said was completely a conspiracy theory. To deal with a lawless snake demon, think about it more complicatedly. If you think too simple, it is unfair to the sky and disregarding the people. Judge Zhang said solemnly. The god of earth almost made a loud noise. Who is he talking about? Said that he is irresponsible as an old man, that he has no brains, and lived to the age of a dog. My lord, the Snake King in the mountain has meritorious scales to protect his body. If his mind is not right and there are tricks, he may not be able to receive merit from heaven. The land god strives to be intelligent. Just because a demon saves people, it cannot be said that the demon saves people in order to eat people in the future. In order to indict Dongyang village, Judge Zhang turned black and white. How did the merit of the snake demon come from? The land, don't you know? Privately raining heavy rains to curry favor with the common people and steal merits. Even more heinous, Judge Zhang said to the villagers of Dongyang village, "My life and death chart is determined by destiny. Your village has become a demon servant, and the order of your life has been disrupted. I will escort you all to the town god's temple to punish the wicked and die. Be a warning to others." "What, put them all to death?" The villagers were frightened and lost their souls. They didn't die at the hands of ghost babies, but at the hands of the gods of the town god's temple. Isn't this a big joke in the world? Master Snake King, help me. Many villagers kowtowed to the Snake King statue above and shouted for help. HMPH, it really is poisoned by a demon, it is incurable. Judge Zhang was jealous of evil, and shouted, "To tell you the truth, that snake demon will not escape death. When I came, there was black and white Wuchang who went to the mountain to take snakes, and then all of you will be beheaded and punished in front of the evil stage. ... Wolongtan in Tianqing Mountain. Lin Mu snaked like no one and devoured the 2 queens of 5 ranks and 100 households of the demon slayer. The whole body suddenly swelled up in the pool. The Snake King's aura is getting higher and higher. My god, I just devoured 2 5th-rank masters, and my Taoism has skyrocketed for 5,000 years. The way of devouring everything, digesting everything. But after digesting this, Lin Mu's Taoism soared to 9,500 years in an instant. He almost stepped into the ranks of the 10,000-year demon gorgeously. This happiness came too suddenly. Unprepared. At this time, Lin Mu's whole body was filled with a majestic force that wanted to be vented. Not spit fast. The Lin Mu snake body soared uncontrollably. 300 feet. 350 feet. 400 feet. His snake eyes shone with a dazzling golden light, and his scales hardened and thickened with terrifying power. Like pig iron reflecting cold light, the snake's body winds like an endless stretch to reach the sky. The host understands the pot sky. The so-called cave in the pot has its own universe, which can open up space or fairyland and can accommodate everything. The host comprehends the spiritual behavior. The spirit is beyond the body, and the soul is also out of the body. The host comprehends immobilization, making the body and soul of a person, even gods, birds and beasts are all objects fixed, so that they cannot move. The host comprehends the mountain. It can bear the weight of the mountain, and it is the art of moving the mountain, the original shape of Wuji Mountain. The host understands. As the Taoism skyrocketed to 9,500 years, Lin Mu unexpectedly comprehended all the techniques of Earth Sha at once. The 72 methods were neatly imprinted in his mind. It's not over yet. The host comprehends the law of the sky, and overwhelms the rivers and seas. He can control the water of rivers, lakes and seas, and set off the mighty power of huge waves and rolling waves. This is a powerful supernatural power of Tiangong. The host understands the law of Tiangong, and is reborn with a drop of blood. Limbs are severed, the head is destroyed, blood can be resurrected, and flesh and blood can be extended. Okay. Just when Lin Mu was about to be happy, he immediately frowned. He suddenly raised his head as if feeling something, and raised his eyes to the sky. Feeling something in the dark, he couldn't help murmuring, "I seem to be leaving." All of a sudden, the sky in the sky turned dark red, and large swaths of black clouds quickly gathered. A depressive sense of suffocation invaded the entire Wolongtan. The sky seemed to be collapsing, and all the monsters in the surrounding forests looked at the sky with horrified eyes. Terrified, frightened and restless. Booming, and immediately, there was a muffled thunder in the sky. The sky is full of lightning and thunder, raging and brutal. Dark red, my God, this is Jian. A snake demon nearby exclaimed. Master Snake King, is it possible that you are going to go to Jiaodu Tribulation? Isn't it obvious that he has just become the Snake King, so why should the snake go away? This scene was unexpected, and no one expected it. Including Lin Mu himself. Snake monsters rushed towards Wolongtan in large numbers. The Snake King's escape is a major event for the Snake Clan. But before they arrived, they saw a winding and huge snake body soaring upwards. Stand between heaven and earth. The breath that pervades is domineering and magnificent. The majesty makes all things surrender. The thunder from the sky is also getting louder. It was as if a war drum was set up, beating desperately. The people in Qianchenjai village at the foot of the mountain were trembling with fear, and an old man mournfully said, it's not good, God is angry. Judge Zhang in the Snake King Temple in Dongyang village was shocked when he heard the thunder. The figure flickered outside the temple, one raised his head and looked towards Tianxing Mountain. A winding snake body stands between heaven and earth like an Optimus Prime. A swaying head roared to the sky, fearless. The sky was completely dyed dark red. The most weird thing is that a colorful flower emerged. Walked across the robbery cloud flower. Judge Zhang, who was not angry and arrogant, lost his mind for a moment after seeing Jia Yunhua. Black and white impermanence went into the mountain to get the snake, but the Snake King was gone. What is the problem? Demon Slayer Headquarters. Wei Shuzun knew that the life lights of the 200 households who entered the mountain were extinguished. At this time, Wei Shuzun was standing on the top of the 33-story building, overlooking the direction of Tianxing Mountain. Surrounded by 4 envoys and more than a dozen thousands of households escorting him. The rumbling thunder not only disturbed the people in the suburbs, even the nobles in the capital were not spared. When the snake walks away, the color of the world changes. Why did the newly promoted Snake King suddenly go to Jiaodu Jia? It seems that his Taoism has skyrocketed. Could it be related to the 200 households who entered the mountain? Thousands of households raised questions. A mirror made a gloomy face. snakes bite people. As soon as these words came out, the strong men were furious. Only Wei Shuzun turned a deaf ear to it, staring at the Jian flower derived from the dark red sky of Tianqing Mountain, admiring it. The colorful Jian flowers are really beautiful. The beauty is shocking. Ordinary people dare not look directly at the beauty. Because it contains Tianwei, mortals will spit blood and be seriously injured when they take a look. Guess how many robbery clouds will appear when this daring snake walks away. A Jian flower represents a sky thunder. It's just that the snake walks away from the flood, and it's not a dragon. The random appearance of 3 or 6 flowers is enough for it to suffer. Wei Shuzun shook his head. If there were only a few robbery cloud flowers, the movement of the sky would not be so big. I am afraid that the Lord of Heaven will come to a catastrophe. Great catastrophe. A group of thousands of households and the 4 mirror envoys next to them were all surprised. Fortunately, Wei Shuzun said this, otherwise he would be laughed at if he changed anyone. It is actually very common for snakes to walk away from dragons, but it is rare for thousands of years to ascend to the gate of heaven and transform into dragons. Ordinarily, if you go across the calamity, what comes will be 4 or 9 days of calamity, maybe 3 or 6 days of calamity. It's just a small calamity. But even if it is a small calamity, its power is earth-shattering. After all, it was the master of the sky who made the move. Whether it can get through depends on the snake's own strength and good luck. A catastrophe is absolutely impossible. Look, the show has begun, let's count them all. As Wei Shuzun's words fell, the Jian flower derived from the sky of Tianqing Mountain began to change. 1 flower turns into 2, and 2 turns into 4. Just like Tao begets 1, 1 begets 2, 2 begets 3, 3 begets all things. But in the blink of an eye, the sky directly manifested 36 purple robbery cloud flowers, like flowers blooming all over the mountains and plains. The beauty is dazzling, but at the same time, a terrifying coercion invaded the sky, mighty and terrifying. Even in the headquarters of the demon-slaying division as far away as Kyoto, one can feel the strong sense of oppression. 36 flowers, how is it possible? A mirror operator rubbed his eyes in disbelief. The birth of Yunhua for more than 36 kalpas indicates that the snake demon will bear the baptism of 36 thunders. There is no doubt that he must die. Ha ha ha. There must be disasters for people who are crazy, and there must be disasters for monsters, who will the Lord spare? Damn the snake demon, who dares to devour the master of the demon division. God can't stand it anymore, just a mere snake, and 36 days of calamity will come. For Shanxi, city god and a group of ghosts and gods are also watching the changes in Tianqing Mountain. When they saw the 36 robbery cloud flowers manifest, their expressions became gloomy. There are only 2 possibilities for the catastrophe of the Lord of Heaven. The temple of the city god said quietly, why is this monster so stunning that it will be so beautiful? It will not appear in the world for thousands of years. It has a profound chance. It may be the savior of the world in the future, so it will be baptized by this catastrophe, and then reborn, like a great rock spreading its wings for 90,000 miles. Either way, this demon is full of evil, which is not tolerated by the heaven and earth, so it is written off and wiped out, for fear of future changes and disasters for the common people. A chief official said, I must be the second one. Black and white impermanence enters the mountain to catch snakes, but this snake is running away. I am afraid it will be more or less ominous. Not good. The sky in the sky has changed again. After the dark red sky in the sky manifested into 36 purple robbery cloud flowers, it suddenly turned into a blazing fire again. It was as if the sky was on fire. The crimson sky reflected everything red, and it was in full swing, as if it was going to burn everything. Immediately, next to Jianhua, an extraterrestrial meteorite manifested like fire. The big one covered the sky and blocked out the sun, and when it fell down, I am afraid that more than a dozen villages would be reduced to ruins in an instant. Sky fire. City god was shocked. The Jian flower represents the thunder of heaven, and the meteorite represents the fire of heaven. Immediately afterwards, the huge meteorite began to differentiate, and the same Tao gave birth to 1, 1 gave birth to 2, 2 gave birth to 3, and 3 gave birth to all things. A total of 36 extraterrestrial meteorites shrouded the sky with the temperature of the sun. Tianqing Mountain seemed to have become a flaming mountain, scorching extremely hot. Countless creatures died quietly. Monsters are not immune either. In today's sky, 36 purple clouds are waiting to bloom, and 36 meteorites lie across the world. The majestic power of the sky, the trembling thunder, the billowing fire, and the thunderbolt burn all the ghosts and monsters in the world. 72 mortal catastrophes. The ghosts and gods of Gongshanxi were all turbulent. The mere snake walks away. The Lord of the Sky actually descended to 72 days of calamity. This is too exaggerated. It's really like killing a chicken with a bull's knife. The city god stared at the sky of Tianxing Mountain, Jianhua and the meteorite, and couldn't calm down for a long time. 72 is the variable of the 5 elements of yin and yang in the heaven and earth, which is both mortal and eternal life. To put it simply, if you can't get over it, you can only die if you get over it. Then, future creations will be unimaginable. It will even affect the luck of the Ming dynasty. Shake the dominance of the human race. Even a snake wants to stir up the sky and the earth to change color, and the world is turned upside down. For the first time, the eyes of the city god showed a monstrous murderous intent. In the depths of Tianxing Mountain, thousands of feet above sea level. At a glance, there are countless small hills, and you can see high-level monsters everywhere. Either one has thousands of years of Taoism. And here is the territory of a demon king in the deep mountains, and countless monsters have taken refuge under his command. What is the demon king of the deep mountains? 10,000 years is the king, and the Taoism of more than 100,000 years is called the Deep Mountain Demon King. In Tianxing Mountain, it can be regarded as a towering mountain, a top-notch terrifying existence. Every demon king in the deep mountains is on the most wanted list on the head of the demon slayer. I saw a huge old castle in a bamboo forest area. Spectacular and yet so demonic. In the main hall of the ancient castle, there is a man in white lazily lying on the top. The man is well dressed and has a smile on his face. There is a cloud of black energy around him, and the monster energy is so strong that ordinary bioluminescence will immediately lose its sanity when standing by his side. Evergreen Demon King, one of the 4 deep mountain demon kings in Tianxing Mountain. It is said that his body is a purple-green bamboo, which grows taller and taller with the years before it matures. In the end, it was 9,000 feet high, and the bamboo head sank into the sky. Absorb the essence of the sun and the moon to open up the wisdom, and from then on, 1,000 miles will be made. Rapidly rose in Tianxing Mountain and became the demon king of the deep mountain. The status is unshakable. It is said that the Ming emperor who took office once sent someone to recruit King Chengqing and canonize him as General Yangshuo. But was rejected. The evergreen demon king, who was half lying and recuperating, suddenly caught the eye, as if he had noticed something unusual. With a slight sway of his figure, he had already appeared in front of the gate of the ancient castle, far above the sky, and was extremely surprised. The sky changed color, and the catastrophe shrouded it. What kind of monster is going through the catastrophe, which can make the Lord of Heaven come out of the legendary 72 heavens tribulation? Evergreen King hasn't felt the shock in his heart for many years. Somehow, a bad omen rose in my heart for some reason. What direction is that, and what will cross the catastrophe? King Evergreen seemed to be muttering to himself. But the ground in front of the gate rippled like a lake. A huge turtle shell emerges from the ground, and then sticks out a long head. Out of mouth. In the shallow mountain area, Wolongtan, the catastrophe caused by the newly promoted Snake King of the Snake Clan. The snake walks away from the flood dragon. King Baiqing was surprised when he heard this, frowned and said, "It walks away from the flood dragon instead of transforming into a dragon." "That's right, it's a walking dragon," Zhang Gui said firmly. The Chengqing king's face was full of disbelief. Its Taoism reached 10,000 years to cross the kalpa, and it only came to 48 kalpas. Almost vanished in the catastrophe. What kind of snake is it? But if you walk away, you can make the Sky Master pay so much attention to it. Shuangui said. If it succeeds in walking the dragon, Tianxing Mountain may have a 5th deep mountain demon king. HMPH, there are a lot of 4, there is no need for one more. King Chengqing's face darkened, and he looked at the 36 Jian flowers containing sky thunder and the 36 extraterrestrial meteorites containing sky fire in the sky. It shook its head and turned around, leaving a sentence, "It is impossible to succeed in such a calamity." Even if he succeeded, he would not allow a 5th demon king from the deep mountain to appear in Tianxing Mountain. A snake ran away, which attracted the attention of the demon-slaying division, the immortal division, and the deep mountain demon king. Even within the forbidden city in Kyoto, on the top of a huge and majestic palace, a stalwart man appeared. When he stood faintly, he surpassed all living beings in the sky. Every movement of his hands and feet exudes a great avenue of the emperor, the incomparable imperial coercion, overwhelming all things. Let all beings in the world bow their heads. This courage, this posture, his identity is almost ready to be revealed, and his eyes are also looking towards the sky of Tianxing Mountain. The corners of the mouth are lightly raised, full of interest. Boom! Accompanied by a huge thunder from heaven and earth, it opened the prelude to the snake walking away. 36 giant flowers are in full bloom, delicate and charming, and the thunder is shining. A meandering bolt of lightning burst out and slashed towards the giant snake like Optimus Prime. Thunder billowed, obliterating nothingness. The suspended extraterrestrial meteorite also smashed towards the giant snake. The sky is full of fire, burning everything. Suddenly, that area has become a purgatory on Earth. A snake face covered with meritorious scales looked up to the sky and screamed. A pair of golden snake eyes swayed and flickered, resisting unyieldingly. This night is destined to be an extraordinary night. Regardless of whether the snake can escape successfully or not, it will be recorded in the annals of history by the human race. The flying snake caused 72 days of calamity. Never before. Just walk away. It is enough to be famous forever. As the cloud-robbing flowers bloomed, pieces of meteorites fell down. Like Optimus Prime, the gigantic snake twisted, its scales exploded, and its flesh and internal organs flew across. The entire spine was almost cut off, and the squirming muscles and white joints could be clearly seen. Only the snake head burst out with holy light, avoiding all harm. The sky rumbled. Thunder, fire, bombardment. Endlessly. For the robbers, this is an epic and terrible disaster. For bystanders, definitely a visual feast, because it is so spectacular, even heroic. Many people were shocked in their hearts. This new Snake King is too terrifying. What a vitality. Under such thunder and fire, he still stands tall. It feels like a 10,000-year demon will be wiped out long ago. You must know that the power of Tianlei Tianwo is superimposed layer upon layer. One is stronger than one. And under the eyes of everyone, even if only the skeleton of that majestic giant snake remained. But still standing between heaven and earth. Why not shocking? However, as the last giant flower bloomed, the last piece of extraterrestrial meteorite fell. The snake head containing the holy light of the newly promoted Snake King finally exploded. Bones and broken limbs were scattered all over the place. It indicates that the snake will fail. Kill the monster. This snake demon is so damn tenacious, he resisted until the end before dying. Why bother, resisting one, resisting all, the result is the same, no one can succeed in 72 kalpas. However, that snake demon's death was worth it. It is not in vain to come to the world to die under the 72 heavenly calamities. For Shanxi, it seems that my city god is overthinking. Even though this snake monster is extraordinary, it will not be able to resist the catastrophe. Daming's luck is eternal. How can it be shaken by the birth of the snake evil? The heavenly master is still facing the human race. In the mountains and forests near Wolongtan, all the snakes felt sorry for each other, and they finally gave birth to a new snake king. It didn't take long before the snake king was gone. The snake tribe is leaderless again. In a fight, some people are happy, some people are worried. But just when everyone thought it was over, the skeletons scattered all over the ground burst into dazzling light, and they were magically reassembled. Immediately, a winding snake bone soared upwards and appeared in the eyes of the world again. Standing like Optimus Prime again between heaven and earth. The huge snake skeleton does not see the slightest flesh and blood. Shocking, but it slapped countless people in the face. What? How is it possible? The snake demon did not die under the catastrophe, it succeeded. Impossible, the head is broken, the bones of the whole body are shattered, how can I live? A heavy voice spoke the truth with difficulty. Blood rebirth, flesh and blood stretch, this snake demon has mastered such a magical technique. Amidst countless shocked voices, the snake began to transform. No scales, no flesh and blood exudes a majestic and domineering aura. Roar! A snake howl soared into the sky. The sky was turbulent, and the robbery clouds disappeared in an instant. The crimson sky returned to sunshine. The catastrophe came to an end. And its flesh and blood began to grow crazily visible to the naked eye, covering layers of shining scales. The bones all over the body creaked, and the jagged back undulated like boundless. The scales are folded from top to bottom, like sharp blades, or crystal-clear gemstones. Especially the head of the giant snake. The horny near the neck is proliferating crazily, bifurcated, emitting a faint holy light. Like the first spring thunder under the new branches. Until the growth stopped, revealing the towering horns that were indestructible and filled with terror. The appearance of this big horn indicates that the snake crossing the catastrophe in front of him is not a snake, but a Jiao. Jiaolong. Looking from a distance, the Jiaolong is winding and colorful, the whole body is gorgeous, and each covered scale is like a feather. Like a fine jade, the whole body exudes a bright light. If it wasn't for the clawless, he would have thought it was a dragon in the world. Afterwards, the Jiaolong's huge head raised its head, and its body suddenly jumped, soaring into the clouds and riding the fog. Instantly flew into the clouds. The huge and sinuous body was hidden in the clouds, only the eyes of a pair of golden candles were clearly visible. Crash! The clouds broke open, revealing the bright galaxy behind. A huge and ferocious head hangs down, high above, overlooking all living beings. In vain, the wind was surging, and a torrential rain poured down, and the sky seemed to be hung with jade beads. The dragon appears, the storm rises, and the rain moistens the world. Those who are dragons are the heroes of the world. At the foot of Tianxing Mountain, the people in thousands of villages were overwhelmed. One by one, they rushed out of their homes and bowed their heads to the looming dragon shadow in the clouds. Everyone was so excited that they couldn't help themselves. Those who see the dragon will have great luck and everything will go smoothly. During the reign of the Ming dynasty, no dragon was born in the world for many years. This time, Shiger drenched his body with water and refreshed his mind. Many people were surprised to find that their chronic diseases for many years were miraculously healed. There is rain in the sky, but holy water that can cure all diseases. Long live the Dragon King! Countless mountains and tsunami sounds came and went. It was also from this moment that many villages in the suburbs announced that they no longer believed in the yin god of the Chengwang temple. Instead, they set up longevity cards of the Dragon King at home. Incense is offered every day. Compared to the normal excitement, the grown-ups at the Monster Slayer headquarters were shocked. They witnessed a perfect serpentine dragon with their own eyes. But it was an eye-opener, but he was not happy at all. Impossible, you will die in heaven, how can you succeed in taking the dragon? One of the demon-slaying masters almost fell from the 33rd floor in shock. If you didn't see it with your own eyes, who would dare to believe it? My lord, this snake is too heaven-defying, it must be killed immediately, otherwise there will be endless troubles. Someone suggested, Jiaolong is no longer a thing in the pond, it really should be taken seriously. Wei Shuzun finally showed a trace of dignity on his face. He glanced at Qianhu who was next to him with a knife. Regardless of whether it is a snake or a dragon, they must submit to the feet of the Ming dynasty. Otherwise it's better to disappear. Qianhu understood it, and jumped out of the roof with a knife. A terrifying strong aura erupted from his whole body. 4 ranks of thousands of households are already regarded as the first-class masters in the world. He held the handle of the knife with both hands, and slashed across the air. A sword light that wiped out everything suddenly flashed out like a horse. As soon as the sword light came out, it carried a terrifying and boundless sword force, sweeping the world, mighty and mighty. It bloomed like fireworks, piercing the sky in an instant. The air along the way is fragmented inch by inch. Daomeng pointed directly at the position of Jiaolong in the clouds in Tianxing Mountain. And for Shanxi, the city god watched a bright and sharp knife above his head disappear like a shooting star, his eyes kept flickering. A supervisor next to him was surprised and said, Monster Slayer made such a quick move, and the snake just turned into a dragon and made a move. It seems that we are not prepared to give us time to react. Emperor Mingxuan's intention to take the snake is still there, regardless of whether the opponent is a snake or a dragon, he must be taken. It's useless. Although this knife is sharp, it is too far away from Li Tianxing Mountain. Even if you cut it over, there will still be some power left in the end. The city god could see the fire clearly, but his mouth was muttering, but he didn't make a sound. The gods around him immediately knew that the immortal chief was transmitting sound from thousands of miles away. There may be other arrangements. Judge Zhang in front of the Snake King temple in Dongyang village saw that the Snake King had successfully escaped, and was astonished as if he had also been hit by a thunderbolt. The whole person couldn't help trembling. 72 must die in the sky. 36 days of thunder and 36 days of fire. This is how a mere snake can cross it. Even a third-rank righteous god like him dare not guarantee it. But now the snake has turned into a Jiao, and the dragon has submerged into the clouds, which means that the flying dragon is in the sky, flying across the 4 seas without any restraint. At this time, a majestic voice came from my mind. Judge Zhang, you are the closest to Li Tianxing Mountain. In the name of the city god, I order you to go up the mountain to get the snake immediately. No loss is allowed. Yes. Judge Zhang in a purple robe turned into billowing mist and roared towards Tianxing Mountain like a gust of wind. Rolled up the sky full of dust. Among the clouds. Finally succeeded in walking the dragon, it's so frighteningly thrilling. The so-called plan can't keep up with the changes, Lin Mu's Taoism skyrocketed, triggering the catastrophe. Everything even he himself did not expect. The power of the 72 heavenly tribulations made him suffer a lot. If it weren't for the merits and virtues to protect the body, if it wasn't for mastering the rebirth from a drop of blood, it would have really ruined itself. Why is it 72 heavenly tribulations? Is it because I have mastered the 72 arts of the earth demon? Lin Mu, who has become a flood dragon, can't help thinking. It is said that the catastrophe is the greatest disaster for cultivating creatures. After Lin Mu's personal experience, he deeply agrees. But after successfully transforming into a Jiao, Lin Mu also got a brand new body. The body of the flood dragon is full of shocking power, and it is many times stronger than the previous snake body. Suddenly, Lin Mu even felt that he could fear nothing. A pair of golden candle-like pupils are like clairvoyant eyes, reflecting everything in his mind. Clearly in the sky, Lin Mu looked at the ground, and even saw the figures below the mountain clearly. The people worshipped him devoutly. There were strands of merit in the air again, gathering on Lin Mu's head. The previous scales of merit have all resisted the sky thunder and sky fire for him. Now the new merit has come, making Lin Mu ecstatic. According to the system's planning, the first step is to become the Snake King in the mountains. The second step is to become a dragon. Then the next step is to transform the dragon. Although he has become a flood dragon, Lin Mu's Taoism is still 9,500 years old. However, its real combat power can completely ravage the Wanyan Yao. Even the 4th-rank masters of the human race are not afraid. Lin Mu, who was in the cloud, began to think about the next step. However, this time, the space in front of him fluctuated violently, and when he looked intently, a destructive sword glow pierced the sky. It has the momentum to hit Wanglong directly. With just one glance, Lin Mu understood. Needless to say, it was another gift from Demon Slayer. When Lin Mu became the Snake King in the mountains, the Demon Slayer gave him a big gift. Now that he is a Jiaolong, he is still so polite. The difference is that it was a bit far-fetched for Lin Mu to accept the big gift back then. But now this great gift should be easily received. Suddenly, Lin Mu's eyes flickered fiercely, and the head exposed outside the clouds was facing the piercing sky. There was a long howl when the knife glow came from the cut. Roar. Under a deafening roar, a powerful sound wave shook the sky. A large space is fragmented. The incomparably sharp blade was about to approach, but it became dim in an instant. Fall apart. With a sound of broken sword light, everything trembled. Immediately, Lin Mu's golden candle-like pupils stared in the direction of Kyoto. With a glance of thousands of miles, his eyes fixed on a certain Qianhu. Puff. Qianhu, who had slashed with a knife, immediately spit out a mouthful of heavy blood and fell to the ground. Crazy, dare to fight back. The adults on the 33rd floor were furious. Just turning into a dragon, and acting recklessly, if you go to the gate of heaven and transform into a dragon, wouldn't it be lawless? 2 mirror envoys and more than a dozen thousands of households drew their knives one after another, preparing to attack the dragon in the clouds of Tianxing Mountain from the air. But at this moment, rumbling. The sky at the headquarters of the monster-killing division turned dark as soon as it changed, and a large cloud of dark clouds floated mightily from the direction of Tianxing Mountain. A flash of lightning flashed by, followed by deafening thunder from far and near. This is my return gift. Don't mess with me in the future. If a monster enters the water, don't violate the river, or you will bear the consequences. A cold sound came from the sky, like the majestic breath of a god in the 9 heavens. As the words fell, there was another boom. Within the dark clouds, a sword as white as thunder and lightning slashed down towards the 33rd floor under the deafening thunder. There was another thunder and lightning, like a rattan whip violently whipped, and it was whipped down fiercely. There is also an extremely thick thunder and lightning incarnate as a giant beast, which opened its bloody mouth and swallowed it down. All of a sudden, the demon slayer also fell into the tribulation. The 33-story building standing tall in Kyoto is crumbling. In order to ensure the safety of the headquarters, more than 12,000 households jumped out of the air as the 4 major mirror envoys bite the bullet to resist thunder. Very busy. On the contrary, Wei Shuzun was calm from the beginning to the end, letting the rumble above his head and not taking a look. But there was a hidden murderous aura exuding from his body. In the dark, a force that can reverse yin and yang and destroy heaven and earth is condensed in his palm. Lifting his chin slightly, he looked towards the clouds in Tianxing Mountain. But when I saw it, I was suddenly surprised. Where is the shadow of the dragon? Little slick, it's pretty fast. The power condensed in the palm dissipated instantly. ... After returning the salute, Lin Mu immediately reduced his gigantic dragon body to a smaller size. Disappeared from the cloud, except when you see something good, and run away when you take advantage. Otherwise, if the target is so big, it will be bombarded. When Lin Mu reappeared, he was already floating on the surface of Crouching Dragon Pool. The Sifang forest is full of snake shadows moving, and the invisible snake breath pulls the surrounding temperature to below 0. By the pool, there are 4 giant pythons standing with their heads held high, full of evil aura, representing good morality. It is the 4 big snake monsters who competed for the snake throne before. As soon as Lin Mu appeared, they hurriedly put their heads on the ground, with their tails raised high. Congratulations to Lord Snake King for his successful escape. At the same time, the sound of mountains and tsunamis also sounded in the Sifang forest. Congratulations to Lord Snake King for his successful escape, and the transformation into a dragon is just around the corner. The king of the snake tribe, under the 72 days of calamity, successfully escaped with great vigor. Reborn bone. This also indicates that the snake clan will rise in Tianxing Mountain. Lin Mu nodded slightly in all directions, but his eyes were looking for the zombie woman. At a glance, I didn't see it. Finally, the zombie woman was found sleeping in the black coffin again. If it weren't for the fact that she still held 2 soul-stirring chains in her hands, Lin Mu almost thought she never woke up. The subdued black and white Wuchang are still on the small stone bridge. Without Lin Mu's order, they won't even move. Lin Mu was thinking about how to arrange the pair of yin gods, but suddenly noticed something strange. At the foot of the mountain, there was an extremely terrifying aura that was rapidly approaching Wolongtan. It feels like a time bomb that will explode when it arrives. Black and white Wuchang on the stone bridge was startled, knelt down on one knee and said, "Master, it's the judge who punished evil for Shanxi." Lin Mu became serious when he heard the words. He had just finished dealing with the demon slayer, and he hadn't waited to catch his breath. Gong Shanxi's troubles came to him again. Punish the evil judge, that is a big man. The 3rd-rank righteous god is by no means comparable to the dark gods like black and white impermanence. Forget it, then I will see if my body like a dragon can shake the righteous gods in this world. After saying a word, Lin Mu flashed a terrifying murderous intent, and his scales snapped together. Stand back, don't come near. Lin Mu gave orders and drove back the snakes in the forest. I don't want them to be brought to the pond by the subsequent battle. Black and white impermanence, come in. Lin Mu comprehended the technique of Earth Sha to open up space and accommodate everything. He took this pair of yin gods into the independent space he opened up. Then, he glanced at the black coffin, and simply kept on doing nothing, and put it into the cave space. Everything was ready. Lin Mu's huge dragon body was suspended above the surface of the pool. His ferocious long tail moved slowly, his scales opened and closed, as cold as pig iron. He bowed his head and waited for the guests to arrive. Barely half a cup of tea. A powerful mist rolled over to Wolongtan like a tidal wave. On the spot, a middle-aged man in a purple robe, with angry eyes and a fierce look, manifested. The beard covered almost half of his face. Okay. When Judge Zhang arrived, he was slightly taken aback. A gorgeous and domineering dragon is entrenched on the surface of the pool in front of it. The scales all over the body are shining, making it hard to ignore. There is still a sense of oppression in the air. It's so courageous, waiting for the official to come. Don't you think that turning a snake into a dragon is a big deal? Judge Zong's voice was as cold as ice, and his gaze was as sharp as lightning, extremely sharp. His words contained a terrifying majesty, rolling away like a tide, boiling. It makes people feel dizzy and lose their minds when they hear it. In addition, his whole body exudes a divine aura that makes mortals daunted. When you make offerings to Shanxi, first you are black and white, and then you punish evil judges. After this, my next guest in Wolongtan will be your city god. Asshole. Judge Zhang scolded after hearing the words. What a noble status the city god has, not to mention that you are just a dragon without claws. Even if you become a real dragon, you are not worthy of being a fairy. Besides, the official is here, and you won't be able to welcome the next guest. The Jiaolong on the surface of the pool shook its huge head. Master Judge has the life and death book in his hand. I don't know if there is any record about my dragon in the life and death book. Yes, skin cramps, seal the dragon's soul, and suppress it under the temple of the city god. You will never be reborn forever. This is the fate of your evil dragon. Oh, I think it will be you, Mr. Judge, who will be suppressed by me at the bottom of the pond. There will be no sunlight all day long, no incense to enjoy, and only the pond water to drink. HMPH, the verbal dispute is meaningless. Judge Zhang was also impatient. He snorted coldly, pinched his fingers and said a word. His whole body was surrounded by the power of incense. In an instant, the judge in purple robe suddenly swelled up. In just a few breaths, it was as high as 100 feet like a mountain, exuding a breath of ghosts and gods. Can't help but suffocate. Nijiao, let's see how I capture you. Judge Zhang glared angrily, stretched out a giant palm, and grabbed the dragon on the surface of the pool. Lin Mu calmly stared at the giant palm he grabbed. It seemed like a simple move. But the palm of the giant palm flashed bursts of golden light and seal script, which contained the method of sealing. If it is caught, it will be sealed directly and cannot move. It's a mere 100 feet. What can be manifested? Let you take it. Can you hold it? Lin Mu exuded a billowing dragon aura all over his body, and the dragon's body swelled instantly. In the blink of an eye, he turned into a giant dragon with 1,000 feet in length, and almost occupied the entire Wolong Lake. Judge Zong's giant palm froze in the middle of the road. In front of the 1,000-foot-high giant dragon, it looks small with 100 feet. The giant palm has also become a child's hand. By Tim Jokes. Your Majesty, please eat me first. A ferocious tail like Optimus Prime twitched towards the opponent. The overwhelming force is enough to destroy a mountain. Judge Zong's eyes flickered, and he took out a writing brush, which instantly turned into a sword. The cold light is awe-inspiring and extremely sharp. Chop off your tail. A sword slashed towards the ferocious tail. Clang. Golden sparks splashed everywhere. The cut was achieved, but it was like the collision of two magical weapons. The powerful aftermath evaporated, causing all the water in Wolongtan to explode. The water splashed and turned into a downpour. Lin Mu's candle-like pupils looked at the falling water, and a great supernatural power appeared in his mind. Want to deal with this kind of third-rank righteous god? If you don't show some ability to press the bottom of the box, there will be no results. Your Majesty, a third-rank righteous god, can you have the ability to overwhelm the rivers and seas? Okay. The majestic Judge Zhang in the purple robe frowned for a while, but he saw huge waves breaking up in the entire Wolong Lake. Julong turned into ferocious dragons and roared at him. Your Majesty, Judge eats incense, but I, a small household in Wolongtan, have no incense, only fire to entertain me. Another sentence, and suddenly, the flames that flowed across the sky came out brilliantly. The direct drop made Judge Zhang into a prison, and the scorching temperature made the air evaporate. Water and fire are incompatible, and can affect water and fire to kill the enemy at the same time. It's not over yet. Lin Mu's eyes are full of murderous intent, but he will never show mercy to any enemy who comes to him. These 3 grades of righteous gods must stay. Otherwise, the human court would really treat him as easy to bully. I also have a thunder disaster here, which can be used as an after-dinner snack for distinguished guests. Rumble. A large black cloud enveloped Judge Zong's head, and thunder and lightning flashed. Below is water, surrounded by fire, and overhead is shrouded in thunder. But in just a short moment, Judge Zong realized that he had no way out, and his heart became even more turbulent. These are first-class spells. Each of them has terrible lethality. Why does a flood dragon that has just left the Jiaolong have such means? Enjoy it. As soon as the words fell, 3 powerful spells with different attributes launched an offensive to destroy the world at Judge Zong at the same time. How can that scene be a chaos that can't be described? Water, fire, thunder, 3-pronged approach. Judge Zong's eyes were about to burst, and he was furious, and he was busy dealing with it with the power of incense. For a while, it was very embarrassing. Not to mention being trapped in the double sky of water and fire, one has to be careful of the thunderbolts winding down from the top of the head. Even a 3rd-rank righteous god is still at the end of his rope. Only the power to parry is left. But regardless of parrying, it can't stop the 3 simultaneous attacks of water, fire and thunder. At this time, there was a burst of sour screams in Wolongtan. The city god sent a 3rd-rank righteous god to take the Jiao, and he thought it was a sure thing. The worst result is to be run away by the evil dragon. How could he have imagined that his judge was suffering the cruelest torture in the world? Lin Mu, the real master, watched coldly from the sidelines, looking for the best time, and preparing to give the opponent a fatal blow. If the battle can be resolved as soon as possible, it must not be muddled and increase the number of variables. It's now. Lin Mu's ferocious and thick tail has long been ready to go, carrying a shocking power to run the supernatural power of sweeping thousands of troops. Swept fiercely towards Judge Zhang, who was tired of coping. Going down this way, it was as if the blue sky had collapsed, and the sky was dark. Not good. Judge Zhang felt a strong sense of crisis in his heart, and was just about to react. With a bang, I felt a violent force hit my body. Blood spurted wildly while the body trembled. Pain into the bone marrow. Since being the evil judge of Gongshanxi, I haven't felt what is called pain for many years. But this is not the end, just the beginning. In the next second, his body was entangled by the ferocious tail. Circle by circle, inch by inch. There is no room for struggle. 3rd-grade righteous god, it seems that it is nothing more than that. Lin Mu's cold voice came, and Judge Zong's body was thrown towards a nearby mountain peak. The mountain crumbled like a flat ground. Gravel flew around. Countless birds and beasts flew away from the startled mountains. Lin Mu's tail was still entangled with Judge Zong. He knew that the 3rd-rank righteous god was not so easy to kill, so he had to use another trump card. Your Majesty, I have one last dish here, I wonder if you still have an appetite. Danshan, repression. Suddenly, countless clods of gravel and soil in the forest were activated. They all piled up towards Judge Zong's body. Disha bears the mountain, which is the art of moving the mountain. In Journey to the West, Monkey King was suppressed under Wuji Mountain. It is the power of this technique. The difference is that it is not Wujishan that really trapped Monkey King to death, but the 6-character mantra of Tathagata. Right now, a whole mountain has formed at a speed visible to the naked eye, pressing the 3rd-rank righteous god under it. A winding giant shadow passed by and coiled on the mountain peak. This battle has come to a successful conclusion. At the bottom of the mountain, a blood-stained head was exposed, and he yelled up to the sky, Nijiao, I am the judge of the immortal division, the 3rd-rank righteous god who was proclaimed by the emperor, you dare to suppress me. Lin Mu walked along the mountain, with his huge head hanging down, looked at the roaring Judge Zhang with contempt, and said coldly, what is it to suppress you, I will take you in. Exorcise God, conquer, recognize the Lord. Sanpin Junction being his puppet is more useful than killing him. A terrifying and taboo force shrouded Judge Zong's head. Bit by bit devoured. Boom. It was like a smashing sound. Exorcism failed. Ha ha ha. Exorcism. Exorcising me as a 3rd-rank righteous god, you are not qualified enough for this evil dragon. Judge Zhang was only stubborn. Then I will suppress until I can drive you away. After all, Lin Mu's Taoism is less than 10,000 years old, which is really low. Just now, He continued to use great supernatural powers, and his mana was seriously consumed. Come on, show me it. If there is any sign of breaking free, use the snake's body to wrap it on the mountain. Giant pythons manifested in the forest. Lin Mu didn't wait for time, and the body of the dragon slipped into the bottom of the pool. Directly open 10,000 times time acceleration. Time flies like a flick of a finger. Thousands of times the speed of time is being practiced. Because the host has successfully moved the dragon, time has been accelerated and upgraded by a factor of 100,000. Please transform the dragon as soon as possible. If you succeed in transforming the dragon, you can start a million-fold acceleration. Data visualization. Host: Lin Mu. Species: Jiaolong. Lifespan: 10,000 years. Cultivation: 9,500 years of Taoism. Spells: mastered all 72 spells of Disha. The law of the sky: call the wind and rain, turn the rivers and seas, and rebirth with a drop of blood. Ghost servant: black and white are impermanent. Cultivation: zombie woman. Territory: shallow mountain Wolongtan. Power: command the snake clan. 100,000 times. Lin Mu was astonished. 1 month of practice 10,000 times as normal would probably enhance his Taoism for about 1,000 years. If it is 100,000 times. He practiced him for a month, and he could almost strengthen his Taoism for 10,000 years. My obedient. This is because even the system feels that Lin Mu's morality is too low. Forced to pull. The scariest thing is that in the future, transforming into a dragon can directly activate 1,000,000 times acceleration. What is the concept of 1,000,000 times? Basically, 1 day of practice can gain thousands of years of Taoism. No, for this million-fold acceleration, I have to quickly transform into a dragon. In fact, it's not 1,000,000 times, and Lin Mu can't slack off either. He has already completely fought against the human race to kill the monster, and even the gods. In the eyes of the human race, there is no room for rising monsters. Will try my best to kill the grass. Lin Mu, who was accelerating by a factor of 100,000, began to meditate. He not only wants to improve his cultivation as soon as possible, but also cultivate his own power. It turns out that human beings and monsters are at odds with each other, so he is so powerful that the human race can't afford to mess with him. Just 2 days later, Lin Mu's Taoism has broken through 10,000 years. The host's Taoism has reached 10,000 years of cultivation, comprehending the law of Tiangong, knowing the future against the sky. Remarks: this method can gain insight into the past, present and future. Goodness can gain insight into the secrets of heaven, predict the future, know the fate of all living beings, and understand all causal cycles. Know the future. Lin Mu's pupils glow, which is definitely a supernatural power that has always been against the sky. Whether it's insight into the secrets of the sky, or an unfulfilled prophet, Lin Mu can be invincible. Turn evil into good fortune. The most important thing is that every move Lin Mu makes in the future can be calculated in advance and verified repeatedly. For the best results. Right now, Lin Mu can use the third-rank judge who was suppressed by him as a deduction. As the evil judge of Gongshanxi, it has a pivotal position in the town god's temple. Killing it will cause a steady stream of troubles. Lin Mu understood this point without extrapolating. That's why he suppressed it. But mere suppression is a palliative, not a permanent cure. Afterwards, Lin Mu deduced to the judge, kill, let go, and keep, 3 results. The first deduction, almost as Lin Mu expected, killed the third-rank judge to make Shanxi angry, and the city god came to Wolongtan in person. He was seriously injured and escaped with difficulty. Once deduced, it is tantamount to putting yourself in the experience. The city god is a god of righteousness, covering his hands as clouds and covering his hands as rain, and possessing supernatural powers that can reverse yin and yang. It is not at all that the Wanyan Yao can contend. And the second kind of deduction is tantamount to admitting cowardice. The key to punishing the evil judge is not grateful. This person is jealous of the monster and let the tiger go back to the mountain. Trouble abounded in the future. The third kind of stay. This stay is very mysterious. It is suppression, it is subjugation. Suppression is useless. According to deduction, as soon as Judge Zhang entered the mountain, he never returned. 10 days later, Gongshanxi sent a large number of ghosts and gods into the mountain to search. The so-called life is to see people, and death is to see corpses. Lin Mu's continuous deduction with insight into the opportunities, the best result is to stay and let go. The so-called stay and let go, the premise is that Judge Zhang must first become his man. Put it back again. In this way, not only does he not need to bear the anger of Shanxi, you can also install an undercover agent. Furthermore, Lin Mu deduced the judge, knowing that the other party came to Dongyang village with a group of ghost soldiers before he went up the mountain. Prepare to put the whole village to death. If it weren't for Lin Mu's sudden departure, there would be a change. I'm afraid Dongyang village is gone. In the eyes of those gods, people who refuse to obey discipline are just like heinous sinners. I only have 10 days at most. Within 10 days, I must succeed in exorcising the gods and subdue the judge. Lin Mu secretly made a decision. Just like subduing black and white impermanence. Be reduced to your own puppet, at your beck and call. If it still fails to exorcise the gods, then the only option is to kill. In short, we must not let the tiger go back to the mountain in vain. According to the acceleration of 100,000 times, in 10 days, Lin Mu can at least strengthen the Taoism of 2 or 3,000 years. Coupled with the suppression of the judge, the will of the body will become weaker and weaker. One ebbs and another, still have a good chance of success. After some meditation, Lin Mu practiced silently, feeling the changes in his body as his Taoism improved. After practicing at the bottom of the pool for 9 days, Lin Mu passed out. Daoxing reached 12,000 years. The body of the flood dragon is fully released, and it can be 1,500 feet high. However, he only controlled his body to about 10 feet in size. Too big to be inconvenient, too small to lose identity. At the foot of a new mountain that appeared next to Wolongtan, there were always voices shouting. Nijiao, release this judge, your death is not far away. If I don't go back, Gong Shanxi will come to the door. I advise you to be more acquainted. With only one head exposed, Judge Zhang was hysterical every day. The dignified third-rank righteous god was crushed under the mountain, unable to move, and was exposed to wind and sun all day long. What a miserable word. The most hateful thing is that since it was suppressed, that dragon never showed up again. Forget it. However, at this moment, a sudden gust of wind blew up. 2 figures, one black and one white, manifested out of thin air. Judge Zhang, who was under the mountain, recognized who it was at a glance. Didn't this damn black and white impermanence have been ordered to enter the mountain long ago? Why did it appear only now? He yelled, black and white impermanence, save this judge quickly. After the black and white impermanence manifested, he knelt down on one knee with a look of awe. Hurry up and get rid of the courtesy. What time is it? Save me first and then talk about it. Black and white impermanence did not respond, just knelt and remained motionless. Judge Zhang is in a hurry. What's the situation? Is it time for you to bow and kneel now? Do you have any eyesight? Black and white impermanence is not kneeling to you, a down-and-out judge, but kneeling to welcome me. Following the sound, Lin Mu with the body of a dragon appeared. Judge Zhang laughed out loud when he heard the words, black and white impermanence is the yin god for Sixian, how can he kneel down to the monster? Not ashamed, but in the blink of an eye, his smile froze. Black and white impermanence meets the master. Judge Zhang. Black and white impermanence knelt in front of Lin Mu, a dragon, ruining the 3 views of this third-rank righteous god. Black and white are impermanent, you are crazy, you know what you are doing. The judge who was crushed at the bottom of the mountain roared. Lin Mu said flatly, they are not crazy, they are just enslaved by my driving gods. After one sentence, the judge will understand everything, and proudly said, it is not a skill to enslave the 5th-grade yin god. His words are pointing to Lin Mu. After all, Lin Mu also tried to drive God away from it before, and it failed. It is said that people have to bow their heads under the eaves. It seems that the judge does not understand this truth. Suddenly, Lin Mu's candle-like pupils flickered. You really think I can't drive you away? After finishing speaking, Lin Mu opened his mouth wide, and a hot flame burst out. Facing the judge's head, it was burned. The other party who burned screamed. Nijiao, I am a 3rd-rank righteous god, with incense and merit to protect my body, mere ordinary fire can't kill me. Lin Mu turned a deaf ear and watched indifferently. The raging fire burned the opponent for 3 hours. Until the opponent's spirit weakened to the peak. It's now. Exorcise the gods, subdue them, recognize the master, accept them for me. Lin Mu shouted loudly, and a terrifying taboo force enveloped him. After a while, ashes to ashes to ashes. The third-rank righteous god, the evil judge of Gongxianxi, knelt in front of Lin Mu, the dragon. Zhongli, kowtow to the master. At this moment, the eyes of the jealous Lord Judge were filled with awe. There was no desire to resist in my heart. Exorcism is the top magic technique of Earth Sha, but if the exorcism is successful, the other party can be detained for a lifetime. Let it die and dare not live. Lin Mu suppressed the excitement in his heart, and looked down indifferently. Zhongli, now you can go down the mountain and return to Gongxianxi. Continue to be your third-rank righteous god and enjoy the incense. Yes, master. Zhongli kowtowed, turned into a puff of mist, and drifted down the mountain. At this time, Lin Mu turned his head to look at the black and white impermanence pair of yin gods, not planning to put them back. The Gongxianxi family has a great career, and there is no shortage of yinshan, so they are not too anxious for black and white. Lin Mu also needs a strong helper. There are many ghost cultivators in Tianxing Mountain, you two go and wipe them out one by one, and if you can't deal with them, report them. He needs a lot of merit to prepare for himself to transform into a dragon and cross the catastrophe. However, walking through the 72 days of calamity in Jiaodu, one can imagine the difficulty factor of transforming a dragon. Merit is very important, but Lin Mu didn't want to waste his time practicing. And black and white impermanence is now his servant, no matter if he does good or evil, the debt will be charged to Lin Mu. Besides, wouldn't it be a pity to take this pair of yin gods and not make good use of them? Master, our weapons are gone. Xie Bian and Fan Wuju were empty-handed. To wipe out ghost cultivators, you can't do without weapons. Lin Mu couldn't help but smile. He remembered. The black and white impermanence ecstasy chains were all confiscated by the zombie woman. With a thought, he took out the chain that the zombie woman was holding in his hand from the cave space. Back to black and white impermanence. After black and white impermanence left Wolongtan and went to work, Lin Mu pondered for a while, and there was Zhongli, the judge, who went back to Gongxianxi to serve as his internal response. In a short time, he shouldn't be looking for trouble for himself. Originally, it was not the duty of Gongxianxi to eliminate demons. In real terms, killing demons is Lin Mu's life and death enemy. But now Lin Mu is looking forward to the demon slayer coming to trouble him. If you have nothing to do, send some experts into the mountain. The reason is very simple. What is 10,000 times, 100,000 times cultivation? Taoism is not as fast as devouring people. Before Lin Mu just devoured the hundreds of households of 2 demon slayers, his Taoism suddenly skyrocketed for 5,000 years. In an instant, the upstart went straight away. Human race masters, although they have been divided into ranks and cultivation bases, every time they are promoted to a rank, their strength will increase greatly. According to them, the lower third rank refines the body, the middle rank refines the soul, and the upper rank refines the spirit. If you break the first rank, you will become a flying fairy. It seems that there are hundreds or thousands of monsters at every turn, but it's just a system problem. For example, those 10,000-year-old monsters, could it be that they have practiced for 10,000 years before they possess the Taoism? Naturally impossible. According to Lin Mu's current experience, devouring a 5th rank will skyrocket his Taoism by 2,500 years. What about devouring the 4th grade? I am afraid that at least 6,000 years of Taoism. Even 10,000 years of Taoism are possible. It takes practice. Not much to say, in the absence of a demon slayer to deliver food. Lin Mu still plunged into the bottom of the pool to practice obediently. Judge Zhang, who had been released from enslavement, did not return to Kyoto as soon as he got off the mountain. Instead, he came to Dongyang village. There are still a large number of ghost soldiers waiting for his order. How to deal with the people of a village depends entirely on the words of the judge. The trip to the mountain was delayed for nearly 10 days, and the leading ghost soldiers, Niatu and Ma Mian, had been looking forward to it for a long time. As soon as Zhongli arrived in Dongyang village, he went directly to the Snake King temple. The burly bullhead held a big golden cat in his hand, and said, "My lord, why have you been here for so long? It seems that the newly promoted Snake King has successfully escaped." He is a little capable, and he can entrust your lord for such a long time. The horse faced forward. My lord, these untouchables are still under control, whether to take them back or execute them on the spot, you command. Zhongli glanced at the bull's head and horse's face lightly, but did not speak. One looked up and saw the statue of the Snake King on the altar. With a plop, he instinctively knelt down. This kneeling turned the bull's head and horse's face into petrification. My lord, this is Kiki, slippery. Zhongli quickly stood up and made a lame excuse. Adults are not slippery. Niatu has a naive look on his face. Zhongli glanced at Niatu and asked, why did you catch a big cat in your hand? My lord, didn't you say that cats have extraordinary bloodlines and are born with yin and yang eyes, so you caught them and kept them? Let go. Oh, Niatu saw that the judge's face was not right, so he didn't dare to beep more. My lord, what about the people of Dongyang village? Ma asked. Just as Zhongli was about to speak, blue smoke rose from the ground, and the land god came out again. My lord judge, you are finally back. You heard from the little god that all the people in a village cannot be executed. They just believe in the Snake King, and have not become demon servants. Please forgive me outside the law. As a suburban parental judge, the land of Mingzishan decided to stop the felony and heavy punishment of this evil judge today. However, he knew that there was little hope. Zhongli's attitude was decisive that day, and probably only the city god would speak. May listen, Zhongli said coldly. Then what do you think should be done with this village? The land bite the bullet and said, they are all innocent people, let them go, at most let them demolish the Snake King temple, and ask the yin god of the town god temple to stay there. Okay, according to what the land said, let them go. After saying a word, Zhongli waved his hand again. Ox head and horse face, bring all the ghost soldiers back to Kyoto with me. There was a gust of wind and fire, and the wind was whistling. In the Snake King temple, only the land god and a big cat with 500-year-old practice remain. Ah, old man, I'm not awake yet, I'm dreaming. The god of the land looked bewildered, unbelievable. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe to